What is going on, everybody? How many of y'all been following the channel long enough to remember this place? The old river. We started making fishing videos down here. Let me switch hands, that sun. But we kind of backed off of it because, you know, we video most of what we do, and this place is usually crowded, so I've sought more secluded places to fish over the last couple years. Or when I do come down here, because my wife does want catfish occasionally, I just don't bring the camera and try to slip in and out unnoticed. Seems we got the place all to ourselves today, so I'm gonna try to make another fishing video just to see how it performs. Let me get down here, I'll show you what we're using for bait, kind of go over the game plan, and I don't know, hope we'll catch a bunch of catfish. Made it across those rocks. You got to be careful. I'm not as nimble as I once was in my early 20s. Let me show y'all what we're gonna do here. We're gonna bait up and just pitch right out there on the edge of that current. See if we can catch some of those eater size catfish, you know, between a pound and 5 pounds. It ought to be stacked plumb full of them this time of year. Let me get over here and I'll show you what we're using for bait. Here's the money bait. Big old yellow grasshoppers. Most people, when they think grasshoppers, they think little kids fishing for panfish, but I'm here to tell you, catfish love some grasshoppers. And if you're thinking, I ain't got time to chase down a jar of grasshoppers, let me teach y'all something my grandpa taught me. If you take your flashlight and go out to the field after it gets dark, you can pick these suckers like blackberries. Have you a whole jar of them in just about 2 minutes. Now there ain't nothing special about this rig I'm using. We just got a sinker. That's a 2-aught mustad hook, I think, just a J hook. I got it tied with a leader rig. If you want to know what how I tie my knots, I made a video on how I tie my knots a couple years ago. If you watch all the way to the end, I'll link it on the end screen. But here's all we gonna do. We're just gonna put a couple of these grasshoppers on a hook. Like I said, we're gonna pitch it out there right in that current. They're still a little frozen. Put them in the freezer after I caught them yesterday. Can't have them sitting out on the counter, you know, crawling around and scratching the side of that bottle. The women in my house ain't gonna have that. Let me pitch this out there. I gotta get that other one tied up. It's not ready to go. Here we go. Just a 2-aught mustad. Ain't nothing special about them. Anyways, I'm just gonna get this rigged up, get a second pole in the water, and then we'll talk some more as we fish. Didn't even get my second pole tied up. There we go. Catch 10 or 15 of those. That's a dinner for, I don't know how many people we'll have over. Everybody. There we go. That's a little nicer one. We won't need 10 or 15 of those. We only need about 4 or 5. I gotta go back to my truck and get it. I think there's an ice chest back there. I forgot my stringer. I don't have a stringer and we're catching fish. Let me get this baited up and back in the water. I'm gonna run and get that ice chest. Didn't even make it back with my ice chest. We're getting the job done now. They're getting a little bigger every time. Those last two made it worth the trip. About a 3-pounder. I ain't got time to talk. We're gonna just put another grasshopper on there and pitch it back out there. Take these two down there and rinse them off before I throw them in my ice chest. That's a gar. There we go, got to get that gar off there. Y'all know I'll eat a gar, but I ain't gonna eat no gar when I'm catching catfish, so they gonna get turned loose. All the gar get turned loose today. I can get the hook out. I'll have to get a pair of pliers. Slippery little devils. You don't know I'm trying to put him back. Let me take care of this catfish. Not a bad catfish. It's the kind you're looking for when you're trying to eat them. I'm fixing to switch this black pole up. It's got a 5-ounce sinker on it. That one that we've been catching the last two off of, the bigger ones, it's got a 2-ounce sinker on it. When I throw it out there next to that chute where the current is, that 2-ounce sinker drifts a little bit. They're picking it up as it drifts by, where that 5-ounce sinker just pins it to the bottom. We did catch one fish with that one, but I'm gonna give it one more go. If we hang another one on that silver pole, that 2-ounce sinker, we're changing both rigs up to match. I went ahead and pulled that other rod out of the water to change it to a 2-ounce sinker and hooked another one on this one. Definitely the right call to make the switch. We may be reeling them in 2 at a time now. Been a while since I made a video where we caught a limit of catfish. I bet it's been 2 years since I made a catfish video. I don't know. If y'all really like it and it gets a lot of views, we'll go back to making some catfish videos. We haven't stopped fishing, we just quit videoing it because, well, they weren't real popular. This one's slacked up. Yeah, he's on there. I think I got him in my other line. No, I don't. That may just be another fish. That's the biggest one of the day right there. See if I can keep hitting the camera stand. We may fool around, catch a big one off grasshoppers here in a minute. That's not a bad blue cat by anybody's standards. When it comes to eating anyway, they ain't no trophy catfish. Got them tangled up. Oh no. Oh, got my lines wrapped together and there's a gar on there. My camera glitched as I flipped that gar up over the wall, but now I got a mess. I mean, this fish is tangled in both my lines. He's tangled in everybody else's line that they leave down here on the ground. Golly bum. Well, the fish came out easy. Let me show y'all real quick what to do with these gar. This is a short nose gar. Let me show y'all what to do with them when you don't want to take them home and eat them. Back in the water. Then they're not up here on the bank stinking. All right, I got to get all this untangled. Look at this. Wait. Oh, that was easier than I thought it was going to be. Now if I can just get it untangled from this line. We got to cut it because the line that's in the water has actually got a fish on it. I felt it pulling. It's either got a fish on it or I got the weight up out of the water. Either way, we're loose. Now it's got a fish on it. Another gar. Oh, got it. That was another gar. He was tangled up in my sinker. But he come loose. He probably 15 pounds. All right. Now we ain't got nothing fishing. Let me get everything tied back up, get the baits in the water, and see if we can catch a catfish instead of these gar. Well, I just hung up and broke my line. I keep getting bites, but I'm not getting hook sets. And since the last two fish I caught were gar, we all know what that means. The gar have stacked in there, which means probably not gonna catch a whole lot more catfish. And I'm not gonna sit down here and fight the gar on rod and reel all day, so we're gonna gather up our stuff. We caught about, I don't know, 9 or 10 fish. We're gonna get out of here. Hey, if y'all like this video, y'all push it out. If it gets a bunch of views, we'll start making fishing videos again. If not, I don't know, we'll do another one sometime when we ain't got nothing else to do. Anyways, either way, I appreciate y'all watching. Deer season opens up in a couple days. I'm gonna get out of here and we will catch you next time. Got him. Another gar. Doggone. Slippery little boogers. You don't hook them in the mouth too often like that. There we go. Who knew? Guard like grasshoppers too.